So, after working in Japan for 2 years, was it? You moved to Hong Kong from
Yes,
there?
yes,
So,
yes.
why did you go to Hong Kong? And
Uh-huh.
what did you see? What did you feel? Tell us
Okay. So
everything.
I moved to Hong Kong in May of 2020. So actually right in the middle of the pandemic and also right in the middle of the protests going on. So I went during
Wow.
quite a tumultuous time. I wanted to go to Hong Kong because I visited before and I always wanted to experience living there. I had actually planned on going to Shanghai for language school at that
Okay.
point, but because COVID hit, that got postponed, and I had a few months like where I did not have any plans, and so I decided to apply for a working holiday visa in Hong Kong. Got it, so I just moved.
Got it?
Got it.
It was during pandemic and the
Yeah.
protests, right? Like, なんでまだ行こうと思ったの? Like,
Oh, because I just wanted to get out of Japan. To be honest,
you were so desperate.
I was desperate. I was just like, I'm ready for a new adventure, and so packed my 2 suitcases and left.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how was your experience living in Hong Kong?
It
What did you
was-
see?
It was absolutely wonderful.
Okay.
I think I always say that.
Oh my gosh! That was humongous.
でっか
That was
大丈夫大丈夫大丈夫 マジでかかったね。でもさ、私が普通に座ったままっていうね。
So, what was it? Hong Kong?
So Hong Kong. So absolutely wonderful experience, and I think I always say that what I want from life is a combination of chaos and community.
I feel you.
So-
I'm the same.
カオスの中で I want to build and have, a tiny community within that specific environment or country. So that's what I aspire for. And to me, Hong Kong was the perfect combination of chaos and community because I was able to find that within the chaos. But anywho, because it is very geographically small,
Yeah.
in terms of like meeting up with friends, your friend will always be within 20 minutes of
マジ?
wherever you are. 本当に。
Wow.
20分あれば絶対着くっていうような距離感だからそうそうそうそう。
すごいね。
And so that allowed for such spontaneity. It was just wonderful. And also because there was just such proximity to nature, I was able to go to the beach, go hiking every single weekend.
Wow.
And you don't have to plan out for these things. You can just be like, 今日行くっつってもうそのまま行けるっていうもう距離感が
東京じゃさ、それ never
無理
happens,
無理無理無理。
right?
うん、
Like,
そうそうそう。
like, it at least takes you 1 hour
Yeah,
to
yeah.
go into
Oh,
town
2.
or like to meet your friend that lives on the other side of the city, which
Yeah.
is like could be 2 hours away even. And
So
そういいね。
that I really enjoyed. Like in terms of work culture とかは結構似てる部分はあるんだと思う。
Okay.
And I think that's common throughout East Asian countries in terms of like their shise tours
yeah.
work. So I think it was quite similar in that regard. But at the same time, I worked in a very casual startup environment when I was in Hong Kong. So my experience doesn't mirror that of like the typical Hong Kongers. But at the same time, I do think that there are a lot more similarities in terms of work culture. けど in terms of differences, there's so many.
Okay.
なんか一つ面白いのが多分日本って what foreigners always love so much about Japan is the culture of omotenashi. There is that aspect of Japanese culture that foreigners always love when they visit Japan. And I do as well. I definitely think it's a beautiful part of our culture. However, なんか in Hong Kong, 例えば if you go to, I would used to go to like a local cha-chan-teng, which is like a local restaurant, and then there when they serve your food, like the oba-chan would like slide your plate across
Oh my
the table.
マジ?
なんかピュッみたいな and then she'd like slam down the cup of milk tea でなんか4分の1こぼれてんのおいみたいなおいって感じなんだけど
でも何も言わないんでしょ
何も言わない and then I'm like oh my god だけど
はい
そういうのが割と好きだった、
はい
I
わかる
enjoyed
わか
that
る
I enjoyed
でもさ、
enjoyed
imagine
the-
that happening in Japan.
Oh, no.
Spilling 1/4
クレーム
of
クレーム
Yeah, right?
でも I think I enjoy the no frills service
Right,
as
right,
much
right.
as I enjoy the Japanese おもてなし
でも
as
さ、
well.
when you're on the other side of serving people, it's very stressful, I think.
Oh,
In
for
Japan,
sure.
like when you're the one that's supposed to おもてなし、
そうそう
めっちゃストレスだと思うから、それはなんかバランスだよね。
お客様が神だから
そう、神様、
そう
本当にthey take it to another
そう
degree.
そう
で、then the customers become very demanding.
横柄になる横柄な態度を取るお客さんとかたくさんいるから
そう、大変だろうなと思うから、なんかその香港でそういうクソなサービス受けるけど、you could also give back a クソな
そうまあそれも
対応
よくないよろしくないけれどもそれはよろしくないけれども
よくないけど
でもまあ言ってるこ
At
とは
the
わかる
same
よ
time, like, it's kind of accepted.
そうね
Yeah. て感じだよね。
I actually really enjoyed that aspect of Hong Kong.
How do Hong Kongers view you as a Japanese? Like what were the reactions?
So again, I think honestly, most of my friends in Hong Kong were also expats. Like they were from Hong Kong, but they were raised in the UK or like they went to international school っていう、そういうやっぱ人たちが多かったんだけど。
バブルね。
バブル入っちゃったよ。ごめんなさい。バブル入っちゃいました。
心地いいよね。楽しいよね。
けど, but I obviously got to know a few locals as well, and there is something. I guess the Japan brand is what I would call it, and this is something that I think I have benefited from for sure, in that people love Japan. Like,
straight up.
People love
Let's
Japan.
be honest.
Yeah. People love Japan. People trust Japan. People trust made in Japan products, and similarly with the people, there is a certain expectation that people have of Japanese people. で、それのなんかお墨付きっていうのかな、わかんないけど、それがあるから、all my relationships started off on like good footing to begin with, because there was, I don't know, like the assurance. Is that?
Assurance,
I feel like that's a bit
お墨付き
weird to say even, but like assurance of me being from Japan. They're like, oh, I love anime とか言われるけど、それはちょっとって感じだったけど。
なんかそうそれ言われるときにアニメ、there's a lot more to Japan than anime って思うけど、だって
間違いない。
普段 you don't really なんか interact with like anime じゃない？ in your daily life、like だからちょっと違うなと思うけど。
けどよくあったこれは香港に限らずだけど like I would introduce myself as in like I'm from Japan, and the first thing people would say would be like, oh, like I love sushi and anime. I'm like, great.
Great, good for you. You want to talk about me or sushi?
So that is something that I have found odd.
Right.
I mean, I appreciate them
Yeah.
appreciating us.
Yeah.
So,
but at the same time, do you feel like guys fetishize you in a way?
Absolutely. Again, as I said before, there's a whole stereotype of a Japanese woman.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I actually say that I'm not from Japan because I don't want that sort of reaction from a certain person.
Right. What kind of reactions do you get when you tell them you're from Tokyo?
Oh, they just get really excited.
Ooh.
But like in a
frisky?
But like in a scary way.
Okay.
And then もう絶対こいつなんか人は
日本人だけが好きな。
そう。まあ yellow fever だよね。
Yellow fever, yeah. So when you fake as from a person that's from another country, what do you say?
Well, usually I don't even say where I'm from specifically because I just そこ濁すんだけど、there's this really embarrassing story I have. This is way back from like college, so please don't judge me.
No
but
judgment here.
So this guy came up to me and then he was like, "Oh, like where are you from?" And I'm sorry, people. I said Mexico.
So what happened?
And then he was, I guess, fluent in Spanish because he was from either like one of those countries, and so he started speaking in rapid Spanish.
Oh my god.
And it was like, oh no. I was like, el baño. I ran to the bathroom.
Rápido, toare.
So please don't judge me. It was a long time ago, but that is an instance where it backfired, so I don't do that anymore.
What other reactions do you get when you say you're not from Japan?
Then I guess like it's a normal interaction. I think it's just I definitely know that me saying I'm from Tokyo specifically garners this very specific reaction, this specific type of excitement from certain individuals.
Especially
white males.
でしょうね.
Yeah, so I don't want that. And so sometimes I just cut it off before it even begins, kind of.
Then you came back to Japan for briefly or for a
I
year?
was actually, back here for a year because I was in VC in finance for that half a year. And then again, this opportunity in Chile came about, so I went to Chile.
How was that?
Chile was insane. So
it wasn't only Chile; it was like this island called Robinson Crusoe.
So I went specifically to that island, to Chile for that purpose, in that I stayed in a place called Robinson Crusoe Island, in the middle of nowhere. there is a population of 900 people.
900.
900 people.
Wow.
So very small community, tight-knit community, and it was a sort of place where you would exchange greetings with every single person who would pass by. So if it were to take like 10 minutes to get to a certain destination, it would for sure take 20 on that island because you're like having conversations with every single person.
Right.
っていうようなところ。
So how do you get there from Chile? Like the main.
Oh, it was intense.
Mainland.
So from Japan, I had to fly to Santiago in Chile, and that in itself took 41 hours because I had a layover in New York. But after I went to Santiago, we went to a place called Vina del Mar. And then from there, we had to take a charter flight, so like small, basically airplane that only carries about 4 or 5 people. And then we took that flight, 2-hour flight, to Robinson Crusoe area. And then we had to take another boat ride to actually arrive to the island.
Wow.
So it was quite the journey.
How long was that in total?
So I was there
2
for
days?
no, I was
Like to get there.
Well, we had to actually quarantine for a week in
Santiago?
And so if I combined all the travel days together, it'd be like 3 days for sure. Yeah.
And how long were you there for?
I was there for 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
So it was a good chunk of time. I spent obviously the most time with all the other participants. I think there were 11 in total from a number of countries: US, Mexico, Brazil, Italy, France, and whatnot. So a lot of Europeans, but again, very diverse backgrounds, diverse job titles and occupations as well. Influencers.
Including you.
Well,
She's an
no, I'm
amazing
not.
influencer. Where can everybody watch what's going on in your life?
それはですね。
How can everybody
それ
follow
は
you?
ですね、トモチューブをフォローしていただければ。
And your Instagram?
インスタグラムはトモ S 山口です。
Tomo S Yamaguchi.
はい。
So please follow Tomo on Instagram and please go subscribe to her channel
はい。
because she's all over all the
ちょっと
time.
ね、カオスだから。
Chaos. It's
Chaos.
chaotic, but
はい。
we love chaotic stuff.
はい。
I'm a big fan of chaotic stuff, as we all know.
Well, thank you for having me today.
Of course, thanks for coming. We actually kind of live close, so
そうね。
it was
ね。
pretty easy to
ね、お隣さんだから。
お隣さんだから。そうそうそう。Okay.
はい。
せーよー。So, thank you for watching, guys, and please subscribe to my channel, and please subscribe to Tomo's channel as well, and
はい。
give us a
Thumbs
thumbs
up.
up. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Give us a thumbs up and leave us a comment,
はい。
and please.
お願いします。
And I hope you do well in your life.
ありがとうございます。なんか突き放してない？頑張ってみたいな。頑張ってみたいな。
じゃあ頑張ってね。
はい。
イギリスとイタリア。
なんか若干突き放されてる感が。
追いかけるから。追いかける人だから突き放してない。先に頑張ってっていう。
オッケーオッケー分かった分かった。
僕も
ちょっと土台作っとくわ。
俺も fully I want to be fully
あね。
freelance, moving around all
頑張
the
りましょう。
time. So I want to be where Tomo is at right now. So
頑張りましょう。
she's my role model.
いやいやいや。
So
頑張りましょう。
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 頑張ってね。
頑張ろう。頑張ってね。
So please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and
はい。
Tomo's channel as well. And please leave a comment.
お願いします。
Thanks for watching. Bye
バイバ
bye.
イ。